Alright, Glitch, how long have you been playing Destiny, and what drew you to this game?
I started in mid-March of 2019.
Wow.
So just over 2 years. What drew to
Dagnabbit.
me because at the time I was playing Star Wars game after Star Wars game, so I was in the big space phase of gaming. And I saw that it had character customization, which is a number one thing for me in games that draws me in is, do they have character customization?
Okay, this is a trend. A lot of people are saying that character customization is like one of the biggest draws for them in video games. Okay.
Because, especially with a game that involves you doing open world with other people, you don't all want to look the same. Yes, your armor will look the same, but your character shouldn't look the same as someone else's character. Like, if I'm in the real life, I don't want to go down the street and see someone that looks like me.
I know, me too.
That's just weird. That's just weird.
Like, why are
So
you rocking
I think that's
my
how it
look?
should be in. That's how I think it should be in video games. Like, they don't have to go over the top with character customization, but give us a decent amount.
You want to be you. You want your style.
Yeah.
Yes. So, what do you like about Destiny character customization?
There wasn't a lot to it, but I did like the fact that they had crazy hair colors for their characters, because I am the kind of person that dyes their hair like every couple of months. But then there's a draw to it. You can't change your character after it's already made.
I wish you could. Yeah. Agree. Especially the hair. Like, why can't you change the hair?
Yeah. Like, I don't have to change the hairstyle. Just let me change the color.
What frustrates you about the character customization in Destiny?
It's not as detailed as some other games I've played.
What kind of details do you like?
Changing body types? Like, it's not hard to do. Even if they're using, like, motion tracking, it's not hard to fit, oh, this character's a bit skinnier. Okay, we'll just make it a bit skinnier in the final gameplay.
Because the joints still all move the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Star Wars The Old Republic. It's a game that was made in 2011. But you could change the height of your character, you could change the facial structure of your character, and you could change the body type. Are the graphics?
You can do that in The Sims too.
Yeah.
I was just thinking back to that. I like saw an image in my mind where I was like changing body types, and I was like, wait a minute, I did that in The Sims. That's like really old technology too.
Yeah. So it's like, why can't you do this in Destiny? Oh, are you gonna have to slightly tweak armor? Okay, you make it a bit wider, a bit shorter, a bit thinner. Eh?
We know that they're capable too. Like I said, the Destiny developers are some of the best in the industry, in my opinion.
They are, and that's what gets me.
I feel like the employees are held back by the leadership.
That's what I was gonna say. They have such a creative team, but it's like, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do that. You have to stay on this margin. And I'm like, as an artist, that's so fucking frustrating. That's why I hated art class in school.
How do you feel? Okay, we're gonna go right down and dirty, right into it right now. How do you feel about the current transmog system?
I wish we could get more of it and it'd be better. Like, I wish, it's 100 per whatever. But I think, in all honesty, it should, because you can get it's a total of 10 pieces per season. 15 because it's new this year.
Yes. I've already maxed out on my Warlock with the bounties.
So have I. But it's, in all honesty, okay, it's 100 synth whatever. Make it 100 per armor set. So it's
Okay.
20 per piece.
Okay, fair.
So, because if someone like you, because you're a completionist, gets all the armor sets, you're not going to be able to transmog all of them within a normal lifespan.
Nope. And I've transmogged 3 raid sets already, or at least partial raid sets. Raid gear that I worked my ass off to get from previous raids, so I earned them and I could never use them because the stats were terrible.
That's one thing I had to do. I had to go through my armor sets in my vault.
And then last summer, I ended up getting some great armor sets. Some of the best rolls in the game came from Leviathan, but I had to delete them because they were being sunset. Yeah.
It's so stupid. Especially now. Because say they do eventually, quote-unquote, retire Dreaming City. Are they going to allow us to grind over and over? Like they did for...
For what?
Oh,
I got you. Well, we couldn't... Oh, it's Solar Day. I love Solar Day. So we didn't get to farm the locations that we're leaving, but they also... So that's an interesting question because in the Dreaming City, you are locked out with a bounty system. Same thing with the... Yep. Well, the moon, you're not locked out. The moon is like Europa. But with Dreaming City, you can only do so many bounties per day, per week to get you your gear. And that's what I'm doing right now. As I'm working on my armor set, I'm also farming weapons on different locations. Let's see what BNet wrote here. You kind of wish it had a Fallout character customization. You can make your character look like a famous person or even yourself. And transmog of a grind. Yeah, it's more grind to the game. It should be unlimited, 100% agree. And you don't know why they think... Okay, so here's another thing. Do you think that we should be grinding for these transmog pieces? Do you think that's something we should be doing? Is that an element in the game that you find valuable as a player?
I don't like grinding. If it's something easy where it's like, oh, do so many kills in a strike, okay, I'll pop into solo strike and I'll just sit there listening to music, shooting away.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's something like, oh, I recently did one for Nightfall, acquire a total of 200,000 points in Nightfalls. I'm like, really? You're gonna make me go in with blueberries, and we're not gonna get most of the points because half these people are low levels and have no awareness. So we're not getting.
You saw that in my Nightfalls I did earlier. Like my blueberries kept dying, and I didn't die in any of my Nightfalls except for the very last one. But if I had died, we would have been in those low-level Nightfalls forever because we would keep resetting those zones. So yeah, it can be frustrating playing with blueberries.
Like, that's another thing. Give us Firewall. We have it for the, was it the Haunted Forest or whatever?
Firewalled activity, so you don't have to go on with other people, yeah.
Yeah. Why can't we have that for normal, like, strikes and that? Like, I don't get it. It's so easy to do. Noobs do it on their PCs manually.
Yup. I do solo play for myself. And I'm lucky I have that program because a lot of stuff I just don't want other people in there. And then as a content creator, a lot of your content creators do solo play because they don't want to play with other people for videos.
What I do, I'm like, I'm just here to get bounties done. Then I'm going.
And then the low-level Nightfalls, you have to do matchmaking for the 2 lowest, and then you can't do solos until you're in the higher level ones. And it's like, wait a minute. Here's my thing about, and I started doing solo strikes alone, which really taught me a lot about positioning. So, as a newer player, you need to start somewhere, and if you let people firewall strikes, that's an easy and standard way to start learning how to play solo. And it really changes you as a player for the better. But Bungie won't give inexperienced players that opportunity to develop.
No,
So
that's like what Brother Art said about him pretty much just being carried through raids. Raids shouldn't be like that. If you're going into a raid, like you're new, say it's a group of 6 complete noobs going in that kind of situation, you're forced to learn.
Yep.
If someone's there that knows how to do it, they should be teaching, not trying to carry.
Yep.
Like, I absolutely hated it. Like, what was it? My first garden that I ever attempted to join. They're like, oh, we're just gonna carry you through. I'm like, I don't want to be carried.
I'm here to learn how to raid, dude. This is a cool experience, right?
Like, in LFG, you put Sherpa. Sherpa means you're teaching, not carrying. You would put raid carry if you're planning on carrying someone through it. That's why it's called trials carries, not trial Sherpas.
Yep. Yep. And you know, it's funny, even when I was being carried in trials, I still had a role. Like, because my gift is survivability. I'm pretty good at staying alive usually. So when our key player went down, I was able to get reses off. There was one time when it was I was in trials with Blizzmaster. He's the guy I go to for a lot of help with PvP. And he and our other person went down, and it was me versus 3 people. And I was like, well, here goes. And I managed to get Blizz up, and he got up and shotgunned the entire team and won. We wouldn't have won that round, though, if I couldn't bring something to the table. Yeah. So I at least played a role. But I also was taught, you know, I did improve as a PvPer, even though I wouldn't call myself a PvPer, because Blizz and Apollo, they taught me a few things about how to do it. So I did improve. And I'm a way better player now than I was in PvP.
Yeah. Watching Blizz play on his Hunter.
Oh, he's cracked.
Gave me a good idea of, okay, what works on Hunter for whenever I go into PvP. I'm like, okay, I guess I'm running Stompies in PvP.
He's just ridiculous, dude. He's so ridiculous. Also, you wish they added like community skins for weapons and armor pieces. Yes!
Yeah.
Dude, I've seen so many good community designs. And again, games have been doing that for like 20 years, man. I remember The Sims 2. I would go to a website and download some designs people had for like couches and cabinets and install that. And they kind of did away with it with Sims 3. Everything was for sale after that.
Yeah. Well, there's still custom content. You just have to mod your game, but
yeah.
Like Razer Synapse, the program that controls all the pretty lights on my keyboard. There are so many like designs you can download. I don't play Dota, but I have a Dota profile now.
I'm kind of interested
I have a League of Legends profile for whenever I get back into League.
Dude, bottom tree solar is fun.
On Warlock?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was using when I was doing all that. But, like, I remember growing up, Barbie had these, send in a design and we'll pick the best design to be the next outfit for our latest Barbie. I want stuff like that for Destiny.
Yeah.
There's so many good designs.
Overwatch has some good ones too, but I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I feel like Blizzard is light years ahead of Bungie when it comes to actually working with your community. Like, Overwatch, because right now WoW is very unhappy.
Yeah. Cause like they don't have to do it like just one single winner. It's like, okay, we'll pick the best design for hand cannon, scout rifle, grenade launcher, armor sets.
Armor set ideas are amazing. in the community.
I've seen a couple that I really like. Also, here goes holding back creativity. They're creative, but who decided on dinosaurs?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
I'm like, I wanted the monsters. The monster ones look cool.
I feel like the warlocks get
cool.
shafted in a lot of stuff. Yet the Titan and the hunter armor actually looked good.
You look at all the voice actors for Destiny. They're all warlock mains.
Are they really? I wonder.
Yeah,
I don't know.
the voice actor for Zavala is.
I like to see the psychology behind that.
Warlock is a power trip.
I mean, that's why I play it.
Hunter is your stereotypical.
Basically,
like,
gunplay. Yeah, hunters are gunplay people.
Because I play a lot of MMOs. You have your paladin, your mage, and your assassin.
Well, I've always done like wizards in games.
Yeah.
People are like, well, you should try this, you should try that. I'm like, dude, I've always been a wizard in everything.
Yeah, I've always
like,
been.
That's what I enjoy.
There's a reason why I picked Hunter first, because I always choose assassin in games. I always choose the close-up personal, agility-based characters.
Chat.
That's sometimes.
It's Solar Day. I recommend breaking out a Sunshot for the next hour and having at it. It's fun. I didn't realize it was Solar Day because I stopped playing yesterday. I got so angry with this game.
Oh, yeah.
Solar's the funnest in Solstice. Probably one of their kids did some crappy dinosaur drawing and thought like, oh, maybe we should make this our size.
Yeah.
So Vina says, wait, Barbie did that?
Yes.
That's funny.
A lot of toy companies would do that. I know American Girl did a lot of them.
A lot of user-generated
designs.
designs.
Yeah.
I mean, why not? And I think, I don't know. I think it'd be some easy paperwork, too, to, like, protect your company. Because, yeah, I think it would be easy.
I have an American Girl doll magazine over here somewhere. Because they're starting to they'll do competitions where, well, more so like raffles, where they pick 2 girls and they get to design their doll however they want, and then that doll will be on sale.
Okay, that's cool. And like I said, I've seen some Destiny drawings on Twitter where, like, they just did amazing armor sets. And, you know, Bungie might share them, but they never actually do anything with them. And I don't understand the exclusivity there. I really don't. With all the problems this game has, character customization is, I think that could be a community bonding experience, honestly. Because again, I said earlier, they don't need to just repair their game at this point. They need to repair their relationship with their customers. And that's one way they could do it. It's a positive way to do it.
American Girl does a thing called American Girl Fashion Show. I think it's this year or this month, is the McClare sisters, Ava and Alexis. They got to make their doll, and it is on sale.
That's cool. Just let the community do it, to be honest, with Steam Workshops. Wait, I don't know anything about Steam Workshops. Okay, tell me about that, Glitch, because you seem to know something.
It's pretty much game creation. The only one I really know is RPG Maker. Cause that's the only one I've really worked with, because I enjoy pixel art.
What do you do with it?
But it's...
I know nothing about it, so kindergarten version. Creating skins, basically? Interesting. Yeah. So you can create skins and then, like, with games that allow mods, you can just add those skins into the games.
Yep, pretty much.
Man. I feel like I'm missing out on something here.
Like, that's why I'm so tempted to buy Sims, because it's only like $5 on Steam right now.
Wait, you can get the Sims on Steam?
Yeah, Sims 4.
Like
It's a,
the first Sims?
no, not the original Sims. Hang on. Sims
Okay,
4
my
is
favorite
currently...
Sims is Sims 2, and you cannot get that on Origin anymore. Warframe does it all the time. Oh, really? Dude, you could do some cool stuff with
Warframe. And the
Warframe.
Sims 4 on Steam.
What are some customization options in Destiny that you feel like they got right?
Besides the hair colors, the different face paints you can use. Not many games that have that aren't anime-based games.
That's true.
I kind of wish I could change my hunter's face right now because it just has a skull painted across it. But yeah, the face paint option was a cool idea because not many Western games have that.
Okay.
It's smaller things go a longer way in customization for me. Can I add scars? Cool.
Okay.
Like,
do you create a story for your character?
yes. As a writer, I love creating backstories for my characters. So no matter what game I play, I write down, okay, how would they act and if they were a real person? What kind of things would they like? Because it helps me get into the shoes of the character.
Okay,
So it makes
you
it
really
more
are
meaningful.
like immersing yourself in the role playing of your character.
Yes.
Okay. I was never really a hardcore role player, but I know like during Forsaken and partly into Shadowkeep before the game just started, you know, getting a little too low there, I started like feeling like I actually lived in this world, and it was an amazing experience because when you wanted to forget about everything outside of you, this was a great place to come to. And now this has become a source of frustration for people instead of the escape. Absolutely, your guardians have names, so do your yeah, you name everything.
Mine.
I just don't even have that imagination. I have a hard time naming my dinosaurs, but it works out like an arc. You know, I name my dinos. But I kind of treat my dinosaurs like I do my real life pets. Like, they don't get a name right away usually. I have to, like, spend some time with them. And then as, you know, nicknames generally come out, and then that's when you name them something. Like, you know what? This one's gonna stick.
My Hunter's Ghost is Phoenix, my Warlock's is Nova, and my Titans is Surge.
I have no idea what to even call my ghost. It's just my ghost. No idea.
Just Ghost.
Yeah. Just ghost.
Yeah, but I think it's just the writer in me. I like doing stuff like that. Because it helps me. Like, also, I think it's the theater kid in me.
Okay.
Getting in the shoes of the character.
So this is something I don't really understand. I'm not the creative type. I'm more of the technical person who brings other people's ideas together and creates like a presentation for it. It's why I like YouTube videos. Do you feel that Destiny is a really good source of creativity for you, and how does it compare with other games in that sense?
For the kind of game Destiny is, I think it's a really good source of creativity because some of the stuff I would never think of. Like, yes, I've heard of android characters, but all the android characters I've seen look human. I've never seen ones that look blatantly robot.
You mean like Exos,
that's why,
or...
Yeah.
Okay. So you're talking about, you've heard of android characters in other games.
But they were never like...
But in Destiny, they actually
robots.
look like robotic characters. Okay, gotcha.
And there goes the android characters in other games. They act like robots, but Exos don't. They act like how they were when their soul was put into them.
Okay.
So it's that kind of creativity that I would have never thought of, because it's like, oh, they're robots, but they don't act like it. They act if they were a normal human or an awoken.
Because we've extracted a consciousness and it managed to contain it. Almost imprison it into this exoskeleton. And it's funny when you read that lore. Now, with all of Beyond Light's faults, the lore certainly is disturbing. Like, I remember when we found out the truth about Banshee, and we found it out when we didn't quite want to tell people. Yeah, we were like, oh my god, should we tell him what we found out? Because, like, we read the lore on the Sword Lament before we even got it. And it was like this whole, oh my god, guys, I just learned something. If you don't want to hear it, mute it. Mute it. And I remember sharing it with Raining for the first time. I was like, dude, did you know that Banshee is Clovis Bray? Hey, if you didn't already know that, that's on you. It's been a year, okay? Almost a year. So shut up.
It's been almost a year.
Right. Yeah, at some point, spoilers are gonna, whatever, get used to it. And Raining was in complete disbelief. He's like, oh my god, I just don't know how to feel about that. I'm like, dude, I feel really disturbed. Like, I just don't even, I don't know how to feel about it. I felt emotional confusion over it. I think most people did. To where I still can't really describe the feeling. And I'm not sure I would have felt that way if I hadn't read the lore. Like, before Beyond Light came out, we got a hold of the lore that came with the special collector's edition. Because, like, everyone printed the PDFs online, like, on Destiny secrets, raid secrets, and...
Raid secrets?
Dude! Like, that was evil stuff! And...
My first reaction when I saw all those, like, how it was always flashing, like, yellow and black, my first reaction was to put that into text, like a notepad file.
Wait, how what was
because
flashing yellow and black?
Everyone had a password, and you would get this little...
Oh, with the special collector's edition, the pyramid thingy. Yeah.
Not the pyramid thingy, but...
Wasn't there like a key
you would put the
that looked like a pyramid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there was a thing where this is how they filled in the blanks for the pages. There was... Everyone would get a gift, and it would be flashing red, or yellow, black, white. It was just blue. But my first reaction is, because I'm someone that does a lot of strategy game, like not even strategy games. I like escape room kind of things.
Okay.
So my first thing is like, okay, obviously this means something. It's obviously not Morse code because it's too short for that. So my immediate reaction is, okay, alternate reality game. Put it in a text file. And that's how you get the formula they use to fill in. Okay, so this GIF equals E, and it goes on line whatever, word whatever, letter whatever.
Hello game? Wow. Sorry, I was trying to pick up an orb and it wouldn't let me.
Like, cause I was watching people go through it, and I said in a smaller chat that we're just going through. I'm like, have you tried putting it in text files? Because people were, you know, sharing the GIFs in a Discord, so I'm like, put it in a text file. Mm-hmm. You have all these at your disposal. Because originally they thought it was a QR code.
Got you.
But nah, my immediate reaction is something like that. Text file, because you can hide so much stuff in an image in a text file. Like, if I open one of my pieces of art, like a random drawing I have that's on my computer, if I change it to text file, I can put whatever I want in that text file, turn it back to a PNG or a JPEG, and it won't do anything to the picture. So only people who know it's there will look for it.
Okay. So going back to creativity with Destiny. So it's a source of inspiration for you because it gets you to think about things that you would normally not have thought about. So it kind of expands your mind. How do you feel about Destiny allowing you to express your creativity? What degree do you think? To what degree do you think it does that? And is it satisfying?
Really, the only way of it is movie of the week or artist of the week.
Okay.
That's really it.
And that's kind of exclusive, really, if you think about it.
Yeah. Like, oh, only people with a lot of followers on Twitter are getting these because, you know, they're looking at people who have the most votes or whatever and not the little guys.
Okay.
It's the same thing with streamers.
Okay, so this is going to an interesting and possibly controversial direction. So let's talk about it, because that's what we do. Do you ever pay attention to the featured content creators that they put on their website?
Every once in a while, yeah.
What do you think of the people they choose to feature? Have you noticed any trends or what?
It's usually people that get a lot of viewers in their streams. Like, the only one that,
Speaking to your mic.
They choose people that usually get the most viewers in their streams.
Okay.
Pretty much.
So
Like,
well-known content creators.
Yeah. And that's usually who they take feedback from.
Okay.
Which kind of sucks. Because a lot of their... But they don't take very good feedback from it. They take their feedback, but they don't make good of it. Because you have people like Glad, Sweat, who are completionists.
Which is what I try to be, yes. Now, Glad, do you think Glad is a good one to really take a lot of feedback from?
No. Like,
why?
For some...
What,
Glad doesn't word everything in the best way. Like, I don't think he fully understands, like, or doesn't know how to fully express what he wants.
Okay.
Like,
how do you think what Glad wants and needs in the game compares to what you want and need in the game? Do you see parallels there?
Glad wants more. Not much, because mine's more on the creative side of it.
Okay.
Like, I want more creativity within the game. His is more, I want more things to do and not taking away crap.
Now, do you think it's fair to center the design of the game around Glad? This is what I'm getting at.
No.
Why is that?
But it's like... Because Glad's just one person. Yes, he gets a lot of views, but it's just one person.
And like, how would you rate him as a player in Destiny?
He's a good player.
He's good?
I've seen him play. Like his PvE stuff.
Do you think he's good or do you think he's exceptional?
I would say he's above average of what most Destiny players are.
I would say he's an exceptional player and probably one of the top players in the game.
Yeah.
When you look at the stuff he does. I don't think it's fair. So he's an outlier. He's not. Most people could never aspire to be as good as Glad. That's what I'm getting at. Like, you do not design video games around exceptional players. He's really fucking good. Really fucking good. The guy breaks the game good.
Like, Bungie wants to take feedback.
I was just reading all that bullshit in my chat.
Okay, so there's so many Destiny streamers. So how about they go one day, they say, okay, who has ever streamed Destiny? Mass email. What do you like about the game? What do you think we can improve on? Go through all the emails.
Do you think streamers are really... Do you think Bungie should only pay attention to what streamers want?
Well, not just streamers, but people who... They're easier to get access to.
Okay.
Because most streamers have, contact me for business with their email.
Where do you think Bungie can get email accounts from?
I know...
Do you sign up with Steam using an email account?
Yeah, that too. You can use it.
Every company that you do business with has your email account. It's very easy for Destiny to send an email out to their entire user base and say, hey, fill out this survey. Or surveys are only as good as the questions you ask, right? You need to consider that people are going to have opinions that are different from what you're trying to get. I got a political survey one time, and they never gave me an answer to questions that I would agree with. They just assumed that I would, you know, support their cause in some way, shape, or form. So I sent the survey back and like wrote my own responses. So Bungie, if they were really truly interested in what the player base wants, they would send a survey out to everybody and include all possibilities. You know, like, hey, I love the game and I play it, or I've stopped playing the game and here's why.
Do you think we can improve on anything that specifically
although
you want, and see what is the most common reply?
Yes. They need to get responses from people who aren't streamers. I mean, as a streamer, I just happen to be a streamer. I don't think it, you know, I'm always going to think my opinion matters. Of course I am. Everyone always thinks their own opinion matters. But, from a business standpoint, they need to open that up to the entire player base. Now, what I found disturbing is when Shadowkeep came out, Luke Smith did say that they wanted to make the game more streamer friendly. They actually do put an emphasis on content creators. And what I've found with this new content is it actually makes it harder for me as a content creator, because as a content creator, you actually thrive off of what we call evergreen content. So if I make a video today, I'd rather that video be good for several years. So, oh hey, I made a Shattered Throne video. Let's, you know, let that exist forever so new players can come in 5 years down the road and view that video and benefit from it.
If they go upon sunsetting everything, that video will be obsolete.
They sunset content, which makes it, they've basically rendered most of what, you know, Dado has done, for example, useless.
Yeah, that was the only reason I knew how to do baths.
Yeah.
Leviathan.
I miss Leviathan.
That's because Destiny's considered a live game.
Yep.
So many live games don't take away crap.
Yes.
They add things to it, then give you the option. Okay, do you still want to keep this on your PC, or do you want us to uninstall it for now, and you can come back to it later?
Yeah, there's no reason why they can't give you an option. Like, Microsoft Office has done it for many years. You can install components of the suite. And some video games allow you to do that too. And if you don't want the Red War campaign on your computer, then don't install the Red War campaign. And people are like, oh, well, Bungie's a new indie dev. Not exactly. Bungie's been around for 30 years. And Destiny's been around for 7. At what point do you stop giving them a free pass for sucking?
I don't think I've really ever given them a free pass. I've always been hypercritical of what they do. I just don't voice it because they're unpopular opinions.
There is a segment of the community that's always defending Bungie. Like, any post you make on Twitter is gonna get an apologist there.
They're the same people who apologize for
existing
their favorite artist. Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It's a video game. I don't need your SJW bullshit in my video game.
So, this brings up a question that these same people always ask. If you don't like the game, or if you're so angry with Bungie, why do you keep playing it?
Because I've put so much time and effort into it.
So your time matters.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's not just time. I've built my character. Figuratively and literally built my character.
You've invested in something, and Bungie gave you an idea a long time ago what the game would be like. Do you feel like they've changed the game? That what they...
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not what they promised you it would be.
No.
Okay.
Because when I first got into Destiny 2, it was after watching people play the first Destiny. So I assumed you could go back, you could play campaigns. Because I didn't want to watch someone play Destiny 2 and get spoilers without playing it myself. Because I'll watch like for some of my games, I'll watch the first chapter of someone playing it and see if it's worth spending money on. And since Destiny 2 is free, I'm like, okay, I'll watch someone play the first mission. And when I saw the first mission, I'm like, this shit's dope. You're in a burning tower fighting aliens. Hell yeah.
That's funny.
And it was a plus because I saw character customization. I'm like, ooh, I think me fighting badass aliens. But over the time, I'm like, because I'm never really a PvP person. Like, up until I got Cold War, all my all my multiplayer matches, I would just play against hard bots. So it's like, and it's for a reason why I stopped playing Overwatch for a while, because of the meta. I'm like, I just want to go in somewhere and kill shit with guns and cool ass abilities.
Yes, I love that.
I don't want to be forced to go in with a shotgun or a sniper rifle or
and it
a
doesn't
launcher.
always have to be hard. I like variability and difficulty.
Like, the only time I ever went back to Overwatch is during their Lunar New Year, because Lunar New Year, it's capture the flag is there the entire time. So I would just go in and play capture the flag.
So Cass says, but how do you rate good? I believe Esoteric is a better overall Destiny player than Glad. Glad may be a better overall gamer, but in regards to only Destiny 2. Yes, but Esoteric also is this voiceless, faceless person who doesn't give his opinion on anything. Glad has more influence. I would say Glad is one of the most influential Destiny 2 streamers out there. And it used to be like Broman and T-Rex and all those guys, but like they don't even play Destiny that much anymore. They'll go in and do their stuff, but they play other games. Which is interesting. You can tune into some of what was the biggest Destiny 2 streamers, and they're now playing other games. So what does that say? I mean, your biggest Destiny 2 PvEers, a lot of them don't even really play the game anymore. So Esoteric's amazing. Like, we joke around about Esoteric being the final boss in Destiny, and I kind of feel like they should do it just for shits and giggles. You're okay with that? Eso proves that you can play any way you want in Excel. Well, you have to remove him, though, from the equation because he's an exceptional player. You cannot expect the larger group to do what your outliers do. It's like data sets. When you collect data to identify trends, you always throw the outliers out. Why? Because they're anomalies. Esoteric is an anomaly. Secretariat, famous Triple Crown winner, horse people. He was exceptional. It turns out his heart was bigger than, I think his heart was really big, which is what made him, which gave him the stamina and speed he needed to be one of the greatest racehorses of all time. Lance Armstrong, even though he was doping, so was everyone else on the podium. What set him aside from those guys is he had a larger heart. He's a physical anomaly. That wasn't something you could just train for. He was an anomaly. An Esoteric, dude, I'm just enthralled by what he does. He uses weapons that no one else can use to get through a GM Nightfall alone. Like, it's like the guy has the force and he can make the video game do what he wants. He makes it look easy, but it's not. And I'll watch Esoteric and I'll be like, why are the ads not attacking him there? Like, they would attack me. What is going on here? What is his Jedi mind trick? You cannot design a game around your elitist. You're not your elitist, your most elite player or players. And my argument is that Glad and Esoteric are both exceptional players that the game should not be designed around. When you lose over the course of a game, 99% of your player population, maybe you should stop designing the game around your elite players and start thinking more about your general player base. Most companies want to grow their customer population, not shrink it. And Bungie's been shrinking it. And I have no idea why they think it's a good idea to sink their money into an international office right now instead of investing in dedicated servers and improving their game, bringing back all the content they took away from us, and getting rid of the single ever evolving world bullshit that people have obviously negatively responded to. It's not working. And it's not just a Diebear opinion. The numbers don't lie. Millions of people agree. Well, I'm gonna say thousands of people agree. Excuse me, because only 292,000 people came over to Steam with Destiny. They lost millions of players on Battle.net. And Forsaken actually had the best numbers of all time, so I'm wondering why people chose not to come to Shadowkeep. That I don't know. That I need to research. I'm still researching that. I'd like to hear from people who decided not to come over from Shadowkeep, or for Shadowkeep. I don't expect to solo master Nightfalls with a triple bow, but I know it is impossible. No, it's totally possible, especially if you break out, oh, what's it called? The Arc one. Oh my god.
Trinity Goal?
Yes. Well, I actually, no, Trinity Goal might not be good. Tiku's would probably be a better choice, because Trinity Goal is more for, like, red bars and ad clearing. But, dude, Trinity Ghoul is insane when it's in the right role. Yeah,
Tiku's you get a ending blow on an elite. Everything explodes.
You also cannot design a game around every player. I'm absolutely not saying that. And the fact that I said you can't design it around your elites means that I'm saying you cannot design it around every player. But what they need to do is have the middle ground. You always go for the middle ground. You need to have different levels. I have no problem with the different levels of Nightfalls. What I have a problem with is capping light level for GMs. It makes it more inaccessible. I would like to take more people through GMs, but if people can't survive, then I can't do it. I personally cannot solo a Grandmaster Nightfall. I can be an incredibly valuable part of a team. I can teach people how to position. I can give them ideas for what weapons to use to be successful. But some people need that extra light. I'm not cool with capping it. I'm not. Stop capping light level. If you put the time investment into the game to level up your character, you should be able to reap the rewards. Yeah. Stop capping. Stop it.
Wait, another thing I wish Bungie did. A lot of other games do this. Have a gallery to where you can rewatch cutscenes.
Yeah. Yeah, I would like to replay the campaign too.
Like, because I want to go back and be able to watch cutscenes, pause at a certain place, and take screen caps for reference photos for art. But I can't do that because you can't pause cutscenes.
I have to be really stingy, or I have to be exclusive. I can't let people into my games when I'm playing content for the first time because I have to be able to record it without people talking over it. People always talk over cutscenes when you're in a group. And it would be nice to be able to just go back and do exactly what you said. In Diablo, you guys taught me in Diablo you can go back and rewatch cutscenes. Which is cool, because Diablo actually has really cool cutscenes. Why is nobody on my planet? Did everyone get booted from the game? What's going on here?
Do you have solo play on?
No, I just did a blind well with a bunch of people.
Oh.
I need one more blind well and nobody's here.
Yeah, but it's... They're not giving a lot of replayability to Destiny.
No, and they disallow replayability. They prevent it. They want you to play the terrible 6-man activity that should be a 4-man activity. The same bullshit over and over again. The mindless, grindy BS. Instead of allowing you to earn... Like, the Europa weapons, don't make me do bounties. Let me replay the campaign to earn stuff. Let me do that instead. And randomize rewards. Like, I
think even in Halo, they allowed you to pick a certain chapter you want to play.
Outriders, you can go back and replay any part of the campaign at any time. Yeah.
Like, that's why I loved COD for so long. I want to replay this one specific mission. Okay, let's do it.
I'm probably going to redo Modern Warfare. That was a cool campaign and challenging.
I just couldn't get into Cold War.
Cold War I would like. I would.
There's a stealth part that I can't get past and it's driving me crazy.
Oh, really? Did you look it up to see what other people did?
Yes, and I do that, but I get caught every single time. I'm like, really?
Now, let's talk about the Destiny 2 player base. Okay. I think when I look at other games and look stuff up, like COD is terrible. They're mostly help articles from gaming journalists that don't really do anything to help you learn something. They're incomplete.
I have to go to a specific, like, I have to go to someone who's actually playing the game and watch what they do.
Yup. In Destiny, you have so many content creators who do an excellent job of thoroughly explaining everything and why you need to do things a certain way. In Arc, there's a lot of resources, but I'm finding that they are like a lot of people who explain things. They skip the very basics of like, where do you look to find out what your dinosaur wants to eat? You know, where do you find that information? Super basic stuff that experienced players overlook all the time. And the new player can't move on to what the experienced player is explaining because they simply don't know where to look on the interface for information. Things like that. So, with that said, we have an incredibly helpful Destiny player base. And I think everyone genuinely cares and most people want to see others succeed. But what do you think about people in Destiny allowing others to have the opportunity to experience the game and figure things out for themselves?
For people to do that, like, don't tell me to do this, this, and this. Like, if I'm with someone and I'm playing, like, and they're a more experienced player than me, let me go through it, and if I fuck up, tell me what I fucked up. But
Do you prefer to be like, okay, guys, I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing here. Can you give me some advice? Or do you, like, or do you want someone to do like what I do in raids? Raids, I'm a little different because it's like, okay, dude, we need to get through this encounter.
I'd rather let them let me try it out once or twice, then give me hints. Like, because I'm someone that learns by doing.
So kind of like what I did in Crown when I was like, hey, Glitch, break out a shotgun.
Yeah.
And you didn't use shotguns back then, and you tried the shotgun and you were like, wow, this is kind of cool.
It worked. And at the time, I was a complete warlock noob. Like, I didn't know my nades on middle tree could heal.
Mm-hmm. Oh, did I tell you to, like, heal me or something? I was like, I need your
Yeah, and I'm like, how? Because I didn't even, like, my warlock had, like, no time on them at the time.
As a new player, so, well, first of all, so for me, as an experienced player, it does drive me crazy when people come in backseat came and they're like, Diver, you need to do this, and it's like when I was recording Ascendant challenges to put on YouTube, and I was on my alt account, and I'm like, dude, leave me alone. I'm already a curse breaker. Please stop giving me advice. Or like, I'm trying to investigate an alternate route here. Stop giving me advice. Like, you don't. I would explain that they don't know what my goal is here, and they like start telling me what to do. And I think one of the biggest problems I've encountered in the Destiny community, it may just be because that's the community I'm in, so I experience it more here. But like, people will try to solve your problem without actually knowing what your problem is.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating. I get frustrated because they're not listening to what the problem is, or the fact that I don't even want their help. Like, let me get angry. Sometimes you'd have to just let someone get angry.
Yeah. I feel like that's the time where I get most serious in a game, is if I'm getting pissed off. I'm like, okay, let's just get this over and done with.
It's kind of funny what happens when, yeah. It's kind of like when you're in a raid group and you're like, guys, I gotta go to bed. This is my last run. And then all of a sudden they do it. They get through the encounter.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about that.
It's like the one night when we were 5-manning A-tracks. We're like, okay, we're getting tired.
Freaking A-tracks,
Pull those
dude.
two. I can't believe we actually managed to do it 5-man.
Well, I don't normally like to change the strategy every run because sometimes it's just a matter of relearning your new strategy. But like, Senpai and I knew, like, we were kind of tweaking it. Like, we knew what we had to get to. We were just trying to figure out how exactly to do it. And then we did it. We managed to 5-man it. And he was a huge key to it. 8-tracks is a pain in the ass. I don't like that encounter. I've hated it ever since we did day one. Yeah.
It's always the second encounter rate.
And I'm tired of rushed encounters in Destiny where
It's time gated.
Well, you have a timer that requires you to do something super fast, but then you also have other things that are creating urgency. Like, I would like to tone it down and introduce fewer elements to do that. I have no problem with timers. But Destiny, Bungie has been throwing in a lot of different little things together that creates a lot of frustration. And again, it goes back to creating an encounter for your more elite players rather than allowing a little bit of leeway for new players to come in and learn it too. Like, I don't think raids have to be an all or nothing thing. And none of our raids that we have at present are really good for new players. Whereas, like I said earlier, I think with Brother Art, I could take people into Scourge of the Past and Eater, and we could, you know, get their raid legs wet, or steady, or whatever the term is, I forgot. Strengthen their raid legs. And, they could learn from that experience and then go up to a more difficult raid. Or they'd learn, like, oh, hey, I need better weapons, I'm going to go for this and this, and prep for the next raid. But because Scourge isn't so unbelievably hard and dependent on DPS and mechanics, my friends can't carry me, you know, that kind of thing. And I feel like Atrax is incredibly dependent on everybody having their shit together, unless you've got one of those elite players on board.
Because now they introduced Master VOD.
Yes.
They could have easily done something like that with DSC. So say in normal DSC, yes, you still have the replication for Atrax, but in order to have to use the hatches, you have to collect so many of the replications. Then in
like
Master,
challenge mode?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like challenge mode, but you have to have a team that can... guys, Atrax is way easier when you do the up and down elevators thing as a group. But if your group isn't used to doing that and they don't have the flow of it, they're going to fail it. But challenge mode is way easier.
So say you have, like, each you have to collect a total, like, let's say, 3 or 4 replications before you get the counter. Before another one will appear. So, kind of like the moat thing in Prophecy. Like, so that's normal mode. You have one person picking up till it's about to count down. But then challenge mode is where...
Keep going.
It is easy. But then challenge, like, Master or Prestige is where you have to pick up everyone and each one has the countdown. Like how we have it currently.
I would agree with that. Yeah. Yeah, I would 100% agree with that. I think they're making the base raids a little bit too frustrating. And guys, I don't want to say make the game easier, but I don't think the game is... I don't think the types of difficulty they're adding is necessarily a skill development thing so much as it is a speedrunning thing. Destiny is not a speedrunning game. Like, it can be done by speedrunners, and it is, and I think it's great that they can do that. Although, Bungie patches things, so speedrunners can't do some of their stuff, which I don't agree with. Let the cheese stay in. I'm fine with that. It's PvE, for God's sake. But I think there needs to be more accessibility for your larger player base. And I think a master raid is a great idea. Like, we had Prestige Leviathan, which wasn't really that hard.
No.
I liked it better, but I also learned, you know, it was basically all the challenge modes, all the challenges, that's what I should say.
So if you knew how to do Prestige, the normal one was hella easy.
Yeah. But we still did basically Prestige strat anyway in the regular one, because when you have enough DPS, it's easier just to do it that way.
I think the only one I wouldn't consistently do challenge strat for was Gauntlet, because you would have...
Yeah, that was unnecessary. What I like about Gauntlet, though, and this is what I think challenges should shoot to be. When you learn the challenges in Leviathan, and you learn the challenges in Crown, And then also the challenges in DSC. This is how they should be. You learned how to do raid recon, basically. It taught you awareness and options for how to play an encounter. And I think the challenges in those raids all made you a better player at that raid. Because it forces you to think about it differently than probably how you figured it out. And again, that's what I think Triumph should be centered around, you know, teaching you a different viewpoint rather than just get 500 kills with a seasonal auto rifle. God, I hate those. Those shouldn't even exist. You wish they removed champions? Yeah, dude, I hate champions. I want loadout variability, and I wouldn't mind champions if they let you collect anti-barrier mods. So that instead of them dictating your meta that season, because that's exactly what the artifact does. They would allow you, basically, if you want whatever archetype you want to be, if you have the anti-barrier mod for it, you can slap it on that gun instead of using some other perk. You know, you'll have anti-barrier instead of Vorpal.
I didn't get to do either of World with anti-barrier auto rifles and just do all auto rifles to kill him.
I'd rather not run a build centered around killing champions with a specific mod. Yes, me too.
Oh, yeah.
I like to go in with different builds. I personally, like, I've been using sunset weapons this week. Because I want to. I mean, I've always used Sunshot since year one. This is my baby. But I like it, you know? Yeah, okay, I'm running a weapon that I always run. Oh, no. But I'm running weapons I used to run that I haven't run in, like, 2 years, and I love them. Okay, I used to run these under Shadowkeep. But I ran a lot of other things under Shadowkeep because I had to. Because of artifacts. And Shadowkeep, man, that was the most... I ran the same 8 weapons for all of my Grandmasters and other Nightfalls throughout the entire season because the artifact was so restricting. Like, you couldn't even vary what exotics you used because you could only put the mods. The mods went on weapons, not armor. And so you could only use legend weapons. Do you know how many Nightfalls I went into without an exotic weapon? I actually had Nightfall loadouts that were all legendaries. Yeah, it was insane. You need more bows? I want the bow. I was really disappointed that they got rid of the February event for Crucible. Because the Vow. Is it the Vow? Yeah, I love that bow. It's Sunset. I don't think they wanted us to have that bow back for some reason. I kind of feel like that's why they got rid of the event. Like, we don't want to give them another... I don't know, whatever. That is a fun bow. I love it. You enjoyed Prestige Eater when you did that? Dude, Eater is amazing. And I am pissed they took it away. I like to start people on Eater of Worlds because it's such an easy raid experience. And if you're drunk and hanging out with friends, it's just fun. You can take 6 people into it and have fun.
Eater was the first raid you took me through.
It what?
It was the first raid you took me through.
And it was fun, too. And what I liked about Eater is if we lost someone at the end of the raid, I could solo one side by myself. And I did. I would solo Arc. And I liked soloing it. Fuck the anti-barrier mod, to be honest. I'd rather put in another mod besides that, like Ammo Finder. Yeah. Yeah, I just... I don't know, dude. I don't like champions because... I don't think it's necessarily because I don't like champions in and of themselves, but I think it's my association with Bungie becoming even more restrictive in how we play the game. And I've had new comments on my YouTube video, like, I think the game is fine, I just started playing. It's like, you just started playing, though. Like, I'm not responding to them, I don't want to shit all over them, but, like, you just started playing. You did not play Destiny 2 at its peak, and you don't understand how restrictive it's become in comparison to what it was. So I value your opinion. I'm glad you like the game. But I really have to question how long you're going to keep playing it. Because at some point, you're going to get good enough at the game to where you're like, yeah, this is too restrictive. You had to only use fusion rifles and were limited to ammo. Dude! We had to use swords on the last Prestige Eater I did. We used swords. So we all broke out Black Talon, and we were chucking it at the boss. It was stupid.
That
It so stupid.
Like, of all raids to get swords.
Yeah, swords for the eater boss of all things. Like, you can't walk up to that boss and sword it. Come on.
Oh,
I think we did a fusion rifle one too, where we broke out 1K. It was... It's too funny. Guys, let me check my armor set here.
Yeah, I did one prestige eater. And it was what? It was hand cannon, pulse rifle, and I think grenade launcher? And there goes, I had no good hand cannons. I had a pulse rifle because that was my main weapon. But I was like, So I pulled a blue hand cannon out of the collection to use.
The Allegro. Is it Allegro or Allegra? That's actually a really good hand cannon. And it's a blue. I was murdered by that thing in Crucible a lot. A blue hand cannon, guys. It's snappy. It's really nice. Yeah.
I think it was last season. Throughout all of Gambit, I was using a blue auto rifle to invade, killing everyone.
That's funny.
I don't remember which one it was though.
Well, we were going over blues one day, and I was like, "So what's some good blue weapons?" And there was an auto rifle someone recommended. Uh-oh, there we go. Void Singe. Hello, Master Gamer. How are you today? Wait, the Vow was your first seasonal weapon you ever earned? Really? Dude, I like the sound it makes. And it's just a good bow. I was, like I said, I wanted to redo... I forgot what the event's called. Handy Mayhem, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Bear Den. I wanted to redo that event this year because, again, I wanted a bow that wasn't sunset. I was hoping they'd re-release it. And also, because of who I did it with last year, I wanted new memories. I wanted a new duo queue partner to make new memories with. And I couldn't. They took it away. And it was funny because when I went to Destiny the Game Reddit, quite a few people had expressed disappointment. One girl was like, excuse me, she said that she was disappointed because she met her boyfriend through Destiny and they wanted to do that event together. And so, again, there's the social aspect that's been kind of crapped on. Yeah. I think it was a PvP event that I think everyone actually enjoyed. And when I did it last year, I had a lot of fun. We had some good games. 2v2 was really a different experience and it was a lot of fun.
Don't understand why they don't have a normal 2v2 mode. Like, take out elimination, replace it with 2v2.
Yeah, I don't understand why we have elimination because it's basically the same as comp and trials. It's basically like trials, but I don't mind us having a limb. Just let me pick whatever mode I want to play. Let me do mayhem.
Yeah.
I am totally not whatever. I'm not using the right weapons. I don't care.
It's
all 2v2 games you played were sweaty. Really? Wow, dude.
That's because
you're sweaty.
That's because they had skill-based matchmaking at the time. That's why they were all sweaty.
Oh, they did have skill-based matchmaking. Interesting. Okay, so skill-based matchmaking. I think Destiny players, I think a lot of players don't have a good idea of what it is. Now, in Overwatch, we have skill-based matchmaking, and it's amazing. And I think the difference between Overwatch and other games is Overwatch opens the gate far enough in skill-based matchmaking to where it's not only sweaty. You have a wider array of players in there. So not everyone is exactly the same skill level. Your best player is going to be, you know, noticeably better than your worst player. And I think other games try to tighten that spread a little too much. And I did some research on this a couple weeks ago. And I found a professional COD player who did a video on skill-based matchmaking. And he's like, I don't want really sweaty games when I'm done playing professionally at the end of the day. I want to go in and just have a good time. And he said, however, I don't want to play against the bottom 30% of players. That would just be boring to me. And I'm like, yes, thank you. It's like when I play against the top 20%, it's boring to me because I can't even survive long enough to know where the shot came from. And he made the same argument I make about how it needs to be. You need to have that spread wide enough to where you have more variability in player skill level, and that would make skill-based matchmaking better for everybody. And I think a lot of Destiny players, it seems to me like they haven't experienced like the Overwatch version of skill-based matchmaking to where people can actually play the game. And that's something I'd like to explore. And I've even proposed, you know, in arguments online with these people who are anti-SPMM, I said, okay, here, let's keep connection-based matchmaking, but give me one game mode that is skill-based matchmaking. And every single one of them says no. Why do you think that is?
Because they're either players that are too good and like to pub stomp people, or because they like getting carried.
Well, they're not getting carried if they're anti skill-based matchmaking. I think the reality is that they're afraid that most of the player base is going to go into the skill-based matchmaking mode. That's what I think. I think they know that most of the player base wants skill-based matchmaking. Your PvEers, the ones who've actually thought about it, want skill-based matchmaking. Now, I have a few people who are echo chambers who, you know, hear the connection-based matchmaking argument from their streamer heroes, and, you know, they're like, well, you know, I understand not every game should be, or, you know, the game shouldn't be sweaty, and it's like, dude, in the right environment with the right adjustments, they won't all be sweaty. You'll have good games. I'll imagine 2 teams of 4 KD Sweatlords. Yeah, and I'm not promoting that at all. You know, you should have your 2 to 4 KD. And then your 8 KDs can all be together. So basically your cheaters will all be in the same game together. So you'll have cheater lobbies. And the cheaters won't be in my lobbies at all. Dude, I love this melee. Like, when it actually kills things, it's awesome.
Yeah, I was running that.
But, you know, if you don't want other people having options in the game, that's a problem with you. Either you're a control freak, or you're afraid that options will prevent the game from being the way you want it. And the only reason to not allow at least one mode to be skill-based matchmaking is that you don't think people will play it. That's the only logical reason. People won't play the connection-based one, I should say. Because it's the Sweatlords who want connection-based matchmaking. But then those exact same people get angry when people like me leave the game because I can't get any kills. Yeah. Too bad, buddy. I'm leaving the game if I can't get any kills. If I don't belong in that lobby, I'll remove myself. And if Bungie's gonna time me out for 10 minutes or 1 day, whatever, I don't want to play that game mode anyway. And I've done it in Overwatch. When game lobbies were too ridiculous, I was like, you know what, I'll take the 50-point SR loss, and yeah, I'll go pour myself a drink. So
yeah, I've done that in quick play where I've had repeated games in quick play where I'll just leave because I can't get anything done. I'll take the 75% EXP lost. I'm fine with that.
Yup. Yeah, I don't care about XP
cosmetic.
in Overwatch at all, and XP in Destiny, whatever. I mean, look at my level, dude. At
like,
this point, any
like,
XP I gain means nothing.
like, it's not like anything useful comes out of the loot boxes.
Exactly.
It's just cosmetics.
Or blues. Or it's a gun I want, but it's a bad version of it.
Yep.
Dude, this melee.
All I know is for my Titan, I am set with solstice boxes because I have like 21 of them.
like 300 keys.
Hell yeah, dude. Nice orb generation there. That would be hilarious. Don't ban cheaters. Just put them in lobbies with only other. Yeah, 100%, dude. It'd be funny. And also let people spectate the games like you can in Overwatch. Yeah, I want to see that. I would totally want to see. I mean, you have to know the person you're spectating because you'll like spectate a friend. But like, yeah, I would love to watch cheater lobbies. It'd be too funny. But like, the guy Crispy found the other day, who was in he was in all 3 of our Crucible matches the other day. He had an 8 KD, dude. 8 KD. And he was cheating in quick play. In control. Like, what the hell, dude? Seriously?
Like, Iron Banana's over. Guess I gotta cheat in quick play now.
I would like to interview a cheater just to try to understand their perspective. But I would say, guys, if you want to know more about cheaters, most of you know who Righty is. I'm shaking my head because the guy we know who is a cheater was caught by Righty. And I'm like... I'm like, why would you cheat and not know who the biggest content creators are when it comes to PvP cheating? Like, I mean, that's what Righty specializes in. And you went up against him and cheat. My mind is blown. And... I don't know, dude. But he has some really good videos that I've watched. I feel like watching the videos that he's done where he interviewed some cheaters who demonstrated the cheat programs, it does give you a perspective so that you may not beat cheaters in PvP after watching it, but it gives you a better understanding of what they're seeing so that you can at least play around it as best you can.
He did where the dude had a full auto sniper rifle.
Did you see the full auto mountaintop?
That one was crazy. Like, at least from what I've seen with cheaters, or like heard from cheaters in other games, they do it because they're bored with the game. And they just don't care anymore.
Well, a lot of them are just crappy gamers. Like, you know, if you're not that good at the game, there are things you can do to improve. You know, not everyone's going to become the best player, top tier. It partly has to do with born talent. I'm never going to be a top tier player, but I can at least go in and have a good time with my friends, you know?
There's only a few games that I don't even say cracked at, that I'm just good at.
Me too. Okay,
While,
so you and I both play Overwatch and COD, okay? You play quick play COD, which I think is amazing. I'm dead before I even realize what's going on. But I love Warzone, and you're really good at Warzone. Like, we both enjoy other games that are PvP games. Why is it, do you think, that you leave Destiny to go play PvP elsewhere?
I can't say ability based because Overwatch.
Speak in your mic again.
It's not really ability based because Overwatch has abilities.
Yes.
I think it's the flow of the game more so. Because with COD, yes, sometimes in quick play you get crappy respawn points. But in Destiny, I'm constantly respawn in the enemy's spawn. So I'm just dead as soon as I spawn.
What I hate about Destiny is if your team is all spread out, they'll spawn wherever. Yeah. So you're spawning in a dangerous place. I've actually yelled at my teammates like, you guys need to group up so I stop spawning into the enemy. And I do, I spawn into the enemy because I have a teammate fighting 2 other guys and then I'm screwed. Yeah, Destiny respawns are something people have complained about for a very long time. And there's no set spawn.
There is infinite spawns.
Like, you don't spawn into a safe place.
No. In
COD multiplayer, you have 2 spawns, 1 on each side of the map. That's it. Unless you're playing like
Well, what I like about COD, well, okay, COD multiplayer, yes. What I like about Warzone is you spawn up in the air and you pick where you fall.
yeah.
Shit. I'm dead.
That's how
COD is known for spawn trapping. Yeah, and it happens in Overwatch too. But in Overwatch, what you do is you say, you can talk to your team in chat because everyone does have access to it. And say, guys, I'm being spawn capped by their Symmetra, and then the team will come back and kill them. I think it's interesting. I'm not necessarily saying to have it, you know, precise spawn points in Destiny because I'm not sure that would work out well. Especially since currently you can have one guy who can basically 1v6 an entire team. And that does happen, I've seen that. So that's not the best idea. But they do need to fix the spawn. Like, you should be spawning not near a teammate necessarily, but away from enemies.
I think the only really COD map that is really known for spawn trapping is Nuketown in Black Ops.
Huh.
Because the houses have a little like back porch that you walk up, and an enemy can just sit there and snipe behind the fences where you spawn. Yes? No, cat.
That can be fixed with larger maps, right? Ooh,
Yes and no.
don't think so, because with how Destiny spawns seem to work, it has to do with where people are located on the map, not with the larger map. People, like, if I'm hiding or setting up a trap on a Destiny map, my team will start spawning on top of me. And I've spawned in with the enemies when my team was all spread out or dying. So they need to change the priority of where you spawn on a map in relation to other people, because that's how it seems to be.
Yeah. Because COD, when you spawn, it's... I would say there's like, in real life terms, like 3 to 4 feet in between each player when you spawn. COD, or in Overwatch, not Overwatch, oh wait, Destiny, you're spawned in kind of like a huddle. As if you're like penguins.
Penguins.
It's the best way I can describe it. You're all just huddled together. So someone with a cloud strike comes by, shoots you, you're all dead.
This is true. And I've been killed in spawn in Destiny many times. Those are usually control. Like, they know where I'm gonna spawn. Because control, you do spawn in the same spot every time.
Yep.
And you can control spawn flipping and all of that.
It's...
Oh
no. Destiny PvP is lackluster for me. I don't like it.
Turn in Vanguard tokens when Season 15 begins on August 24th. Vanguard rewards will update, nullifying the need for tokens. Players should turn in their Vanguard tokens to Zavala to receive rewards before their tokens expire. Oakley dokley.
How many tokens do I have?
I'm upset with tokens right now because it's just giving me mostly armor now. Like, I want weapons, not armor.
I have 803 tokens.
Yeah, I turn mine in fairly regularly, but I haven't been doing strikes that much, so I don't really get a lot of tokens anymore.
I have to clean out my vault before I do any of that. Because I have to go through my hunter's armor and see what has good stats and have one of each archetype. Which is something I learned from you. I'm still trying to get a solar Nezarec in.
Dude, solar helmets and solar bonds. That's where it's at.
Yeah, I have a solar, my Memory of Cade bond is my
You
solar
can't
bond.
change your Nezarec? Or are you saving the other one?
I don't have enough material.
Got you.
And I like that Resurrection. It has 23 resilience. That's before masterworking
How
and
much
any
material
other...
do you need for that?
Because I would have... I honestly don't know, but I know I don't have enough golf balls for it.
You remember watching a video on COD where one person would just stand behind the spawn, kill them as they spawn in, get a helicopter, and then just blast the spawn spot with it? Dude, that's so evil.
Kill streaks in COD are
Wow.
funny.
Yeah, dude. I'm getting better with kill streaks. I'm trying to learn how to use them, but...
The attack helicopters aren't a problem. It's the attack helicopters that you can sit in are the problem. That you can actually control.
It's too funny.
Nah, I like the hand cannon. It's a one-hit kill, and I love it.
Okay, this takes 2 hammer charges. What is this? Weapon or... Okay, so we're gonna do this. Guys, I'm still trying to get some god rolls from last season. I just got tired of it. I got tired of it. Who didn't get tired of it, you know? Battlegrounds are a lot of work.
I didn't even get the hammer back. I just went in and did the stupid battlegrounds.
My teammates were killing things, but not necessarily focusing the boss, and then I was in there with sunset weapons. I mean, the sunset weapons are fine because light level doesn't matter in Battlegrounds, thank God. But, like, I could have used something better than a machine gun. Like, machine guns aren't the way to go in there. You like the flow better in Call of Duty and in Overwatch. What do you think controls that flow?
I would say in Overwatch the modes cause the flow. Like if it's like 2 CP or escort the payload.
There's an objective to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With COD, it's if it's hard point, it's because with hard point your team doesn't earn points unless your team has the hard point.
Okay, what does that mean?
Basically, it's kind of like King of the Hill.
Okay.
There's the hard point rotates.
So you have to cap point in order to earn points.
Yep.
Got you. Okay.
Then in control or domination as they call it, there's 2 halves of the game. You earn a total of 200 points to win the game, but like in Destiny, the more points you have, the more your kills are worth.
In control, right. If you have 2 or 3, you get more points per kill. Right.
But it's split into 2, so as soon as one team hits 100 kills, you swap spawn sides, and you go into phase 2 of the match.
Also, in Destiny, if you cap point, guys, you get ult charge. A lot of people don't know that. I said that one time and my team started capping points with me. They're like, I didn't know that. And these were experienced players. It was kind of funny. And I didn't know it either until someone told me. And I was like, oh, damn. Like, hell yeah, I want to cap this point. Good morning, Big Gun.
Also, I describe, like, because Destiny 2 PvP is spray. You just spray everywhere. Spray your gun everywhere. Your abilities, everything. COD, for certain maps, it feels more so like real war? Like paintball kind of things where you're actually taking cover.
Yeah.
And, like, flanking.
That's why
that's
some
how it's
people
gonna be.
can't play COD. And I love it. What I like about COD is Warzone. Like I said before, I hate battle royales. Warzone is slower. Like, I have time to go look for stuff, and like Big Gun and I play Warzone together. We've been doing it almost daily. We'll get a 4-sec in there, and we just go in there to have fun. If we go against a cheater, like I said, usually if we recognize a cheater, if we can pull Big Gun off the guy, we'll choose not to fight that battle. But sometimes Big Gun just has to. He just can't. He's like, enemy must kill. Like something flips in his brain. Warzone is very fun with friends. Yes. And we all have different roles. Like, I'm the medium range damage person who is usually responsible for getting cash, and then I bring people back when they die.
I am the person that somehow gets kills because they got jump scared.
That's funny. Edible is a sniper. Big gun, you're the nail gunner. You're like you just dive in, balls to the wall. We have a Brewski as a sniper. Like, we play different roles on the team, so it works. And there's a synergy to it, but there's always a goal. I'm also more of a strategizer, so even though I'm not the best aim and I'm not necessarily going to get a final blow on somebody, I am of value to my team. And it's nice that you can bring in people with different strengths. And we've won. We've won several Warzone matches in 1 week because we're not necessarily the greatest players, but dude, we work well together, and when we communicate, that's when we are on. That's when we're going to win. It's when people don't communicate that we lose. What is
don't really like Apex.
CQB? What is that? Again, I believe that if Destiny split into 2 separate games, D2 the story and D2 the Crucible, then it would solve dozens of problems. Yes. Now, do you think the 2 should be packaged together? And what about, let's go back to pinnacle weapons. Like, we'll use Mountaintop. It's one of the most famous pinnacle weapons out there. That was a Crucible pinnacle weapon that was really good for PvE. So would that weapon be made available in both game modes? Close quarter combat, thank you. Oh, CQC. Got it. Yeah, big gun, we do really all have different strengths. It's nice.
If they split it, they should give you the option to, like COD, the option to download both or just one or the other.
You can earn everything in Warzone, too. Like, you earn blueprints as you play. And then, like, with Warzone, the more you use a gun, the more access you have to different perks. And I've talked about that. I love that. My MG82, I made an effort to use that gun in Warzone for most of the season pass. I'm almost done with the season pass because I wanted to get a sight. And it was the last sight you could earn. And I think if Destiny did that, you'd have... And if Bungie was actually okay with you using whatever you wanted to use in the game, which they don't seem to be... with the freaking artifact, you would see more people using different weapons because people are going to go after different god rolls. But if you want the god roll, you got to use the gun. So I think, and that would make grinding way more enjoyable. Like, oh, you cannot get this damn apostate you want. Go out and use the apostate dye bear, and then you can earn, like, you'll get the drop from altars, but then if you use the gun, and they could even say use it in altars, the more you use it, the more perks you unlock. That's what they should be doing. Instead of just, here's another crap roll. We know you've been grinding for months for this god roll, but we're not going to give it to you. Oh, here's another killing win quick draw. I don't want killing win and quick draw. I don't want either one. Stop giving me the freaking gun. Stop it. Why not? The advantage is to installing both versions. Okay, so like have Mountaintop still be a PvP. What about making people get, like, okay, so you get, like, Tiku's Divination, it's a PvE quest, but then they make you go into PvP to get the Catalyst. What do you think about that kind of stuff? Or do you think they should give you alternatives? Like, if you want to earn the Catalyst in PvP, you can do it. If you want to earn it in PvE, then do it. What about those things that they cross over? Because there's a lot of crossovers. You also eliminate the requirement to do PvP or PvE. Yes, you split the player base, but you get the players who want to be there. Not exactly. When the game becomes a job, it's not a game anymore, and they can alter the catalyst requirements. So give you options. Like, if you want the Tiku's Catalyst, you can either get 50 kills in PvP or 200 in PvE.
Destiny has done one thing right. The boots for the final step for the boots is kill 15 champions or 15 guardians.
Yes, and they started doing that.
I would much rather kill champions than guardians.
Right?
I could just pop Anarchy on the champions and boom, they're dead.
Awesome, Rayman. Thank you, dude.
But I can't do that in PvP.
They started giving us options with Beyond Light because I can say we were bitching because I was in Reddit backing this stuff up. Yeah. The PvEers were saying, hey, start giving us options. Stop making us go into PvP. And that's why you started seeing, like, the the ritual weapons, where you could pick which core playlist you wanted to go do them in.
Yeah, because that like
And
shows PvP for Adored.
yeah, I always choose strikes. And then if you want the ornament for, I'm fine with the ornaments. Go into Crucible if you want the Crucible ornament. And I'm slowly working on that. I cannot snipe to save my life, but I'm working on it. And I'm okay with having to go into Crucible to get the Crucible ornament. That makes sense. But when I have a sidearm that's a stasis sidearm, and let me be clear, stasis is something PvPers don't want in PvP, and it's a sidearm. Most sidearms are trash in PvP, and I hate that sidearm. I can't even begin to get a kill because I'm one shot by so many things.
Yeah.
Don't force me to go into PvP for one step of obtaining a catalyst. Stop it. Give me the option to go get those kills out in the wild instead.
Even if it's get 2,000 kills with this. Okay.
I'll do 2,000
go-
kills.
Like I'll go.
Let
into
me
Shattered
equip
Throne
my
with
tether hunter.
Yeah. I'll just go on my hunter, go to Shattered Throne, and go pew pew pew.
Right? It's so Bungie basically gave us what we wanted, only to take it away with these damn catalysts. And then with Solstice, again, you got to go into PvP, and it's like, stop making us go into PvP. Especially since that game mode's broken. Like I said, I was in a cheater lobby the other day. We had 3 cheaters. 3 freaking cheaters in quick play. It was insane. I don't want that. See, delete it. Like, you just delete a gun. I just went through a battlegrounds to get a gun that I don't want.
Destiny. Bungie's treating Destiny multiplayer as if it's Halo multiplayer. That everyone loves it. No. I don't like multiplayer.
Well, the PvE player base has been incredibly clear that they don't want to go into PvP. And they keep making us go in to get things. And the reason why is because nobody wants to play PvP. Guys, let's take a look at something since we've got this up. Charlemagne Destiny population right here. This is current activity right now. As of 1:29 p.m. Eastern on July 8th, 2021. That's right. That's right, bitches. We've got our scrim people. That's 1%. Nobody's in nightmare hunts. I do want to do nightmare hunts. But, like, there's no reason to do it. But I want to do that just for myself. But I'm not... Right now, if I'm done doing stuff in Destiny, I leave because I'm just sick of the damn game. Gambit has... This is across all platforms. Gambit used to have 15% of the population. What the hell happened?
They took away Gambit Prime.
It used to be 15%, and I actually enjoyed Gambit Prime when I could just go in and play and not do bounties. 3% of the population. Wow, pre-Beyond Light it was 15. Dungeons are only 3%. That's a damn shame. That's because rewards suck, and Prophecy is trash. Most people don't like Prophecy. Raids only 5%. I guess 11% of the Destiny 2 population does raids. You want to hop on COD later? Nightfalls and Lost Sectors, 11%. Crucible, 11%. Crucible has been somewhat steady, but it used to be Crucible was about 12 to 15%. And so the population has fallen. 27% of your population is doing seasonal and story stuff. And 31% is in patrol zones. Guys, most of the population of Destiny does not want to do PvP. And damn, nobody wants to do Gambit anymore. Look at that. Gambit is such trash. Everything hits hard. Everything. You can't go in and just slay. You get fewer ads now than you got in Gambit Prime. Like, I don't like that there's fewer ads. Let me just murder tons of stuff. And it's really about the invader. The best invader wins.
They literally took Gambit. They're like, okay, these ads are super squishy. Let's make them the same difficulty as raid ads.
Dude, even your red bars are tougher than raid ads. Raid ads can be easy. Like, Gambit's just way too fucking annoying. I got you, big gun.
Warlock.
You
and
what?
I got one shot. My Warlock has 100 resilience. I got one shot by a goblin.
For a playlist activity, it's too chaotic. I don't mean mechanic-wise. I just mean shit sniping you and all that. It's too much. You should not be getting killed that easily in Gambit. It's annoying. Add the mechanic. Bring back Gambit Prime. 100%. I was disappointed when I found out they were taking it away. So yeah, that went from about 15 down to 3%. And mind you guys, the player population is significantly lower now. So on PC, 10% is in Crucible. 11% is in Nightmare. No, in Crucible on what is purple? That's overall. PlayStation 12% on Crucible. Really? Xbox 11. Xbox or Stadia is 11.
That's because PvP doesn't suck on console.
I mean, 1% isn't really anything to write home about, but dude, these numbers are actually pretty consistent. I would say across all platforms, Destiny players have pretty much voted pretty evenly with what they want to do in the game. It's not Crucible, guys. And it's sure as hell isn't Gambit. And the only reason why Nightmare Hunts aren't being done, Nightmare Hunts can be fun, come on. There's no reward. There's no reason to do Nightmare Hunts. And that's by Bungie's design. They should be having you earn weapons in Nightmare Hunts. Giving you good drops. High stat armor should come from all hunts. All hunts. People would be less burned out if there was a reason to do more variety of the game. Yeah, yeah. So there you go. Player population. Real-time Guardian activity. Oh, I swear to God, Bungie.
I just don't like, cause I never played Halo. I never saw the whole obsession with it. Like, my uncle loved it, but I couldn't get into it. I'm like, I don't want to say Bungie should have just stuck with Halo.
Why could you not get into Halo?
It's a third-person thing.
Is it third person? Aren't they
Yes.
changing it to first person now?
I don't know. But
See, I've discovered I actually really do like first person because people have called me out on it, like, Diebear, do you only play FPS? And I'm like, no, I play Destiny, but I play a lot of games that aren't even shooters.
It's the whole reason I was apprehensive of, like, because I didn't get Outriders. Like, because I tried the demo and I'm like, I don't like the shooting. I like the theme of the game. I don't like the shooting. I don't like third person.
It's fun. My issue with Outriders is it's a story-based game, but Glitch, I feel like I'm watching my character instead of being my character.
Yeah.
And I don't like that.
Like, I like the ideas that they're going for with, like, the seasonal activities. But I wish they gave us more incentive on doing them.
We need greater rewards. I don't like doing an entire 4 to 6 man activity for one gun that has a bad roll. Yeah, they just need to revamp the system. There's not one answer to it. Also, I'm tired of the activities and I'm tired of weekly drops. Give me the entire story and let me play through it the first week if I want to. And make it campaign-like. Don't do this weekly formulaic crap where I have to go talk to a servitor and listen to him talk for 5 minutes. And then go do the seasonal activity. And then go talk to the servitor again. And then go do through another mission. Like, just walk me through a campaign, a mini campaign. Yeah. If you want to make it 2 hours of content, that's cool. You know, it could be a Curse of... Actually, it should be like Curse of Osiris. 100%.
If the incentives were like how we have the Lost Sector exclusive exotics, I would happily do the activities more if there was incentives like that.
So my problem with the Lost Sector is you don't even get a reward for a lot of those. Yeah. Like, oftentimes you're lucky if you get Glimmer.
It was said that you get a guaranteed drop with a chance of it being the exotic.
Yeah.
Okay. If I get a ton of Glimmer, okay, I'll just go buy more bounties.
And if you don't get the exotic, give me a seasonal weapon.
I just think that people at Bungie don't know how to properly balance.
No, they know how to balance. They choose not to.
Yeah.
This has been clearly stated by Bungie. They control the meta.
It's so
People
stupid.
need to tell themselves, oh, Bungie knows what they're doing. They choose not to balance. They are going to nerf Anarchy into the ground probably because, first of all, it doesn't need to be nerfed. It really doesn't need to be nerfed.
It doesn't.
But they want to control how you play the game. And again, I don't understand why they have to control how you play the game. And if meta control actually kept the game fresh, we would not have lost most of the Bungie population. We wouldn't have lost them. They'd still be here.
Like, exotics are supposed to be big hitting. That's the whole reason you go after them. Because they're supposed to be the strongest guns in the game.
They should be. Agree. Glitch, is there anything else you'd like to say about your Destiny experience?
I love the game. I just wish they were better.
You just wish they were better. In
Definitely.
which way? Like, more freedom in the game?
Yeah, freedom,
Yeah.
creativity.
Creativity. Being able to make user-generated content.
Yep.
I have heard that suggestion before. That's not just here. And feature more diversity.
Yeah.
I would say. When you look at who they feature as content creators, they're all people of different marginalized groups, according to Bungie's political ideology, or they are women who are married to Bungie employees, or something like that. Very rarely do they feature true diversity, both in, you know, superficial aspects, but also in thought diversity. Yeah,
Oh,
so it
and
would be
maybe
nice to see
seasonal?
more diversity in who they feature as content creators. Thanks, Glitch. Thanks for talking.
Huh?
It's good discussion. I like
Bye.
variety in discussion too.
Yep. Bye.
Awesome chat. I would love to interview other people on some other days.
If you'd like to support this channel, liking and commenting on the videos tells YouTube to share these videos with others who may find them useful. If you'd like to provide monetary support to help keep this channel up and running, visit my locals and subscribe star communities.